What up?
Hey, see any cool websites? Yeah.
Yeah, man. I wanted to do one about random grids. It's almost special to me because like when I remember graduating from college and talking to somebody and one in my family who was kind of in the design business a little bit, and they're like, make a really cool portfolio, send it around and all that. And I had this vision in mind of what I wanted to do, and it was just a grid behind the whole website. I'd put like Chris Coyer, super designer, on it and stuff, but it would be a grid, and there'd be like random splotches of stuff filling out the grid, just like orange squares, almost like Game of Life look kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Too.
It's sort of like a digital artifacting. Yeah.
And like CSS was like super not ready for the job, either my skills or the language or both. And I tried
Yeah.
to do it in Flash, and I knew I needed to script it, but my scripting skills weren't that good, and I ended up just giving up. But it was kind of sad. And every once in a while, I kind of like revisit the idea in different contexts just to like prove to my past self that I could do it. But I was reminded of the kind of the look again a little bit, because let me share my screen a little bit. Our like friend in the Discord, Mr. Josh Collingsworth, has this beautiful website.
Ooh,
with these,
look at
isn't it?
this. So Josh is maybe a triple threat here. He's a good developer and has
Designer.
design skills and like programmatic design. Look at those bloggy boys coming in. That's great.
They're cool, and I was doing some SAS loops and stuff for some other reasons when I saw this, and I was like, I'm just gonna recreate it quick, and I will add more poorly than Josh has done it, because there's some, as you get into this turns out there's some details here that are making that are a little hard to replicate. But anyway, what I thought was, this is CSS Grid, why not?
Okay.
And then my first thought is like, do you put what I kind of want to avoid is putting a div at every single place in the grid,
Okay,
even though my
okay.
brain goes there right away, but only because that's heavy on the DOM. And if like there's nothing there, then why put one at all? So let's
okay.
at least get that far. So,
Yeah.
but we still need like lots and lots of
Cells. Yeah.
Yeah. So we could set up the grid. I mean, I think grid wise, we're looking like, what's that, about 10? So 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, like 100, some, maybe
Yeah. Let's just say,
120.
call it 100.
Yeah. So, yeah, like 100 cells wide or so. In Pug, you can do like const cells equals 100. If you put a dash in Pug, it just means that's JavaScript now. And this is,
That's kind of cool. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So that'll just be a grid, right?
Yeah, okay,
And now
okay.
inside the grid, I can write more JavaScript, like a for loop, like cell equals one. How do you do a for loop? One cell is less than cells, because cells is what I set
Yeah, I
up,
mean,
and
you
then,
could be like for cell in cells if you wanted to be all.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Cell and cells.
You just typed incel. Mate, tricked you. So
And then like let's just put a div and see if does that output 100 cells.
oh, it hates
But
me.
is it not
Sorry.
deep
For
enough?
var cell in cells, maybe.
But it's also like, who knows what version of
who
Node.
knows what Pug accepts? Yeah.
Yeah, because it could be a special syntax.
Yeah, it doesn't like me. Sorry.
Sorry, bud. That might be just too progressive for the word. Is it a for loop though when you do it that way? Cell equals one. Cells less than cells. Cell plus plus.
Sure.
Oh, there you
There
go.
it goes.
Now there's 100
Okay.
divs.
Yeah.
Cool. And so the syntax can be like, you can do that, and that's a class name, sure.
Mm-hmm,
But in this case, I think because we're going to need to do some string interpolation stuff, you can also go class equals cell.
Okay.
So you get the close it. Get a class
Okay.
name, right?
Yeah.
But then you can just go like plus cell or something. Put a dash, so it does that string interpolation kind
So
of
it pops
stuff.
pops it into the
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I thought that was cool. But then it's like, so what we're working with Josh's site is like only a handful of colors. So I'd want like 5 classes or so. And I guess that's it. But probably like I want to uniquely identify them too. I guess I could just use nth child for that, but maybe let's just, because we have the class name anyway, let's just do that. So it's a cell, its cell number is cell, and
Mm-hmm.
a space, and then its cell color is like we need 1 through 5. So maybe
Okay.
we do like plus cell mod 5, I guess.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's
then-
gonna be very like repetitive, but yeah, that'll work.
1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
As long as we do zeros. We could just add 1 if you didn't want to deal with it. But that kind of
That's-
worked.
okay,
Cool. We'll leave that alone for a minute. So then we have a grid. It's display grid. And it's got like grid template columns. What do we say? 100 is fine.
Yeah.
So repeat is really useful here. 100, and then I think they're just, let's just do a pixel value, I guess.
Sure.
So now that's set up. You know, we don't need a gap or anything. That's pretty much just it, right? We won't be able to see it because there's not.
We don't
these
have
are like
colors
0
yet.
height.
Yeah.
You know, but so we have cell. So we could just say, because we want it to be a square, I think all you need to do is aspect ratio 1:1, right?
Yeah, okay.
Or like this could be anything, right?
Yeah.
12. Who cares? It's just a ratio. Can we see it? Oh yeah, look at them all.
Yeah. So give them a background color gray or whatever. Yeah.
Sure, why not? So that way we can see them. Background color. Oops. Color gray.
This is my whole life. This is what I do every single day.
And it doesn't. They don't wrap, which is, I think, fine. Do we need rows too? Part of me thinks we do.
Yeah, but
And
that
maybe
makes me
like-
think we need 500 of those boys or 600 of those boys to fill all the rows or whatever. But
Oh, yeah, that's kind of true. But
Right.
you know, remember the
Oh,
number
true.
of them is just like like how many do you do
Right.
you see? It doesn't
Yeah.
actually have to match the number of
yeah.
anything. Like this number is a little arbitrary. Hey, shout out to Elastic for sponsoring Shop Talk Video. The URL you want to go to is elastic.co/Shop Talk. That'll get you there. Let's say it occurs to me actually that you're kind of video people because, hey, you're watching this video. So maybe video is a kind of format that you like to learn from. Elastic has all kinds of video training available on their own website, video of all kinds, really. Let's say you're really interested in like observability, like observability sometimes is a byproduct of having really good logging and really good searchable logging and graphs and charts for your logs and all that. There's video here for that. Let's say you're really interested in Kibana specifically or something. Oh, here's a bunch of videos. Learn best practices for upgrading without downtime. Pro tips for Elasticsearch. New features in each release. There's so much here. There's a bunch of Kibana specific videos that I was watching earlier that I think are really cool. The core concepts of data analysis with Kibana. So some of the videos you can just like put in your email and you get a link to it and watch it. And then some of these are actual like courses that they offer virtually or on demand that you can sign up for. Pretty cool of them. Elastic, there's a lot to learn. They are a great system. Thanks for your support. Okay. I'm not sure if we need that or not, but let's just leave it for now. And they're all just sitting in a row, but we want to randomize it. So in SAS, we need a loop, which hopefully isn't too big of a deal. I think SAS just has this @for, and then you need an iterator from 1 to, I like this like custom from through, I think is the syntax. We'll just put 100. That'll just roll, and then you can interpolate inside of it. So I think if
Okay.
you go like I wonder
Yeah.
if that will run. Probably not. I is something. Will that run?
Yeah, well, you can't start that's a number, and you can't start a class with a number or whatever, but yeah. You could do cell I and just
Oh, this
do
is-
something there.
That'll run. Okay, so view compiled. Oh, it's just pushing it out. Color red or whatever, because there was nothing in the selector. So SAS is like, I won't even output it then. Yeah, cool. I. So we screwed up the interpolation.
Yeah, you need the dollar in there, but the pound curly $I is there. You go.
Thank you. Then we'll be able to select them pretty easily. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. But this isn't, it's actually cell number.
Yep.
And then they're still all going to be red. But that will get us selecting our 100 cells. So how do we randomize their position? We'd go like grid column start is like how many? There's just 100. So oh my God, look at that.
Hey, look at that. That's cool.
Oh, that's pretty fun, but why would they be on row? Like, why is this one decided it's going to be on like row 100?
Well, I wonder if it's starting. Well, this is weird because it all doesn't wrap.
must
I
be
wonder
like
if it's
auto
starting and
placement.
hitting a thing, and yeah, it's like auto placing. Or
I literally don't understand why, but I guess we could just solve it by we'll just duplicate that and say you start there's only 6 rows, so be on the 6th row,
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to work? No.
Huh. Okay.
I'm not entirely sure why it doesn't do that. Start would be row 1 through 6. So I'm really explicitly telling you what row to be on, but maybe I'm not telling you what row to end on. Say, grid column row is not valid.
That's not-
grid row start.
Oh my God. Okay.
That I think should haul them up onto the same row.
Oh,
That's
look
nice.
at
You can always
us.
use
Yes.
My little centering trick here to kick it
Yeah.
down to the middle. And then overflow it, I guess.
This
I
is
don't really
cool.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And this is runtime, right? So I have to hit like Command Shift 7 here to rerun it.
Mm-hmm.
Did it rerun? There's the little Rosetta. Go away. Oh, it's because I didn't change anything. CodePen's
Caching
intelligent
is-
enough to be like, I've processed that exact SAS before.
I
Really?
know this. I know this.
Yeah, I know this. So it ran. It did process it, but it was cached. All right, that's fun. And then we have the numbers, so we could always just drop them in.
Cell color
Cell dash color dash. Yeah,
1
But
through
we did 'em-
5, or yeah.
we did them
Oh.
like that. But if I just do +1, will it kick the 5th color? No, because you have to go like. Do you have to do that?
JavaScript.
And then like that. Is that how that has to work?
Might be, yeah, because it's probably just making
Yeah.
it say 11, like
Yeah.
cell 11. Thanks,
Cool.
JavaScript.
I love parentheses.
That's fun.
Isn't it? And it's not like, I think it's a little weighty on the DOM because there's a bunch of divs.
Yeah, that's 100 divs, but
There has been talk, I think, in CSS land about like, can you just style a grid cell without having to put a div there or put a cell there, like a fake pseudo element, like a grid specific pseudo element? But that doesn't exist yet, so we have to put a div there to style it.
yeah.
Be cool if we didn't, but we do. Pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And you got the math there. You could also do that in Canvas and move it to a Paintlet. Maybe animating's a little hard. I did notice a little animation on Josh's site, like they all kind of floated up in.
Let's do that. Why not? And I wanted to do one more thing too. Is I added this little kind of looperino in here that was like, because some of his are bigger than others.
Yeah, they kind
Right.
of went like chunky.
So once
yeah.
in a while, they're either 2 or 3 wide. So I did this thing like, just like this case, like let's say it's above 90. So 1 out of 10 times have the grid column end span 2 cells. And I think because of the aspect ratio, then why would that die? Random 100 is over 88. Why are you mad at me, bro? Does it? I think it has to be within the selector because otherwise it's kind
It's
of
just
meaningless.
ghost code. Ghost code. Yeah, there it
Yeah,
goes.
right. So once in a while they span 2, and you could even
Yeah.
be like, even more rarely, 96 or something, they actually span 3 or 6 or whatever. So like once in a while
interesting.
there's really big guys. Yeah, why
Yeah,
not, right? Kind
neat.
of fun. So then, one of the things you can do is kick them all down so that there's a cell, right? And you say like, okay, by default your transform translate y of whatever 12 pixels or something, just a little bit, which is that's just going to push them all down. You'll barely even notice. But then how do you move them up once and have them stay there? I think you can go like keyframes move or something 2, and then just kick it up to 0. Just
And because you're
0.
using translate there, that's going to be a little bit more performant.
A little bit, then top
Yeah.
for sure. And especially with so many DOM nodes, I think you really would notice it.
Mm-hmm.
So animation move, like the classic.
0.2
And then-
seconds. Never
Yeah,
failed.
and then you got to
Ease
say
out
like,
or something.
oh,
Ease
yeah.
dash out.
oh sure, ease out, and then once, meaning just like when you get to the end, just stay there.
Mm-hmm.
So didn't it work? No.
I don't see it, but
Ease out. Is that? Oh, it's just too fast or something. Go slow. Oh,
oh, there they go. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And he maybe staggered some of them there, but that's
Well,
you're-
that's easy because we already have a loop.
Mhm.
So we could just go like animation delay. Now, how do we think about it? Do we use a new random number? I guess we could, right?
I mean,
We'll
you
just
could
go
you could do like oh no,
random
yeah,
10
random
seconds.
or yeah. You might. Is that how that
Look
works?
at-
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's
Neat.
That's too fast. So
Yeah. Go to
40. Let's speed it up.
that's fun.
Why did they? Let's see.
Well, the default is 2. I
Oh.
don't. Yeah. I wonder.
Animation delay. That looks about right.
Oh, yeah, that looks about right. There you go. Let's just be happening.
Rerun it again.
Yeah. It's also
Yeah, but they're all happening really weirdly at the same time.
uniform. Yeah. Weird.
For all that kind of delay. Isn't that odd? 10.
Is your well, I bet it's on the cell declaration that
like one of them, like 0.75, 2. Like these are all really different.
yeah.
But maybe they're not different enough or something. Oh no. There they go.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all kind of going
And I think
different.
it's because it's too slow. I think you'd notice it more if it was like 0.5 seconds. Because
Mhm.
then it's a bigger percentage of the, yeah,
Yeah.
3. Fun. You'd have to mess with it, you know.
Yeah. Tune that to your heart's content. That's fun.
It's fun though. Random every build. Why not? Just
Why
a little
not?
sass, minimal dom, you know.
Yeah.
Random squares. That's all we have for you today in Chop Talk Video.
Enjoy these squares.